In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about improving the transition from your cross to your first F2L pair. So as you start out learning F2L, you might notice that the transition time between your cross and solving your F2L pair is quite long. When you finish your cross, it can be difficult to quickly recognize which F2L pair that you need to solve, given that there are so many unsolved pieces and there's lots of pieces everywhere. So in order to reduce these large pauses in between your cross and F2L, we're going to try and track F2L pieces throughout your cross. So once you get more comfortable solving your cross, you can track, a corner or an edge as you solve the last one or two pieces of your cross. So here's an example where we need to put this white and red edge down here by doing an R2. Now, we obviously know that all we need to do to solve this is do an R2, so there's no point actually looking at this cross edge. Rather, we should switch and look around the top layer or look at the pieces that are moving around here to figure out if we can solve an F2L pair directly after solving this. So here we notice this blue and red edge here, and as we do an R2, we look around and we also notice that the corresponding corner piece ends up down here. So we can go on and simply solve this corner and edge pair directly after solving the cross. This won't be easy, and the key thing here is to be very confident in solving your cross edges without looking at them so that you can look elsewhere and try and identify F2L pairs. So one easy example of tracking the last F2L pair during solving the last cross piece is if we have this bad cross edge case over here. So if we do an R'F R, we need to figure out what that does to the corners of our top layer. So firstly, looking at this corner, if we do an R'F R, this corner does not move and stays in its exact position. So there we have a corner and all we need to do is find the corresponding edge, which in this case for this corner is down here. So that's one thing we could look for. The other thing we could look for as we do R'F R to solve this edge down here is look at this corner. So this corner, if we do an R'F R, ends up over here. So we were tracking that the whole time and the corresponding edge is over here. So we can go in and directly do that afterwards. Or lastly, the other corner that we can look at is this one. So if we do an R'F R, this corner ends up back here and we immediately see its corresponding edge is down here. Another example is if we have this cross edge that belongs here as our final edge. If we do a D prime, the pieces over here don't move at all because we're only using the right and the bottom layers. So if we look at this corner, we know that it stays fixed and all we need to do is, as we're doing those moves, the D prime to insert this edge, try and look for the corresponding edge that matches up with this corner, in which case, as we do that, it ends up over here. It can often be easy to spot the corner pieces with your cross color on them, as opposed to edge pieces which belong in the middle layer. So even if you can't spot both a corner and an edge, it's perfectly okay to just track the corner piece, or if you want, just try and track the edge piece whilst you're finishing your cross. As you practice this more and more, the transition time between your cross and your first F2L pair will get a lot faster.